Hey everyone, it's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and you're watching another installment of my DoorDash daily recap video. Every offer, every delivery, every adventure. Let's break it all down right now. Alright guys, this is the DoorDash daily recap video for Friday, May 3rd, 2024. Action-packed, fun-filled dash today. Several very interesting stories, things to talk about. This is going to be a good one, so you'll want to kind of watch this one throughout. I had the thumbnail photo for this video. I got the balloons in that photo. I had two separate party orders today, two but very different types of party orders, and I'll get to those orders. So the start time for today's dash, 4:29 in the morning, very early start time. I went to bed early, so that's why. And my first offer came in pretty much right away, just 3 minutes later, 4:32. And I got a little bit of a curveball for you guys here. So get ready on this first offer. It's a curveball slash spoiler. I'm kind of spoiling tomorrow's video. So here we go. Screenshot, please. It's an Uber Eats offer. You see it right on the screen there. Uber Eats. Yes, I got reactivated. Like I said, spoiler alert, there's a video coming out tomorrow. So this past week, behind the scenes, I've downloaded 3 additional apps. And so tomorrow's video that premieres at 11 a.m. Eastern time, I'll kind of go over the different apps and the process of going through those and everything. And that's tomorrow. But since I drove for Uber Eats before, that was the easiest one to get on. I was still kind of like, my account was still good and everything. So basically all I had to do was redo the background check, upload my insurance, driver's license, things like that. And yesterday I was activated and logged into it. Now, I've said before in past videos on this channel, that I drove for Uber Eats in 2017. And I was kind of surprised to find out when I first got on the app yesterday, I could see all of my past deliveries from back then. They're all on there. And one delivery from 2018. So I knew that I had done it around October, November 2017, and those deliveries were there. And then just one single $4.15 delivery from April of 2018. I'm like, what? What the heck is this all about? Why would I stop and get back on it 5 months later and do one $4 delivery? What the heck is this? So I had no idea. I've no memories of this whatsoever. But fortunately for you guys, and fortunately for myself, I've talked about this before. I've been video journaling since 2016. Hey, all I got to do is go back into the archives. I looked at the date for that delivery, pulled up that video, and there was the story right there, and which was actually really cool. I was watching myself from 6 years ago, just kind of like watching the story of a delivery, just like you guys are doing now. And I'm watching it like it's the first time I've ever heard this story before. I don't remember it at all. But basically, the night before, I was watching NBA playoff basketball, and I was bored and frustrated about money problems and everything. So I got the idea, got the itch to get back on Uber again. And it was kind of late that night, so I didn't actually jump on until the next morning. And it was early. It was like 6:30 in the morning. And I got my offer, and there was a jacked up thing about it, which was 5 months previous, when I got an offer, I would see a map with where I was picking up from and the delivery, just like you kind of see now. But in April of 2018, for that one order, it was different. So when I got the offer, all I was shown was the estimated pay, and the mileage, and how much estimated time it was going to take. And that was it. No map or anything. I had no idea where I was going to be picking up from or delivering. So that's kind of crazy. So I took it, and it ended up not being too terribly bad. It was a McDonald's order, and it was a large order. It was like 2 big breakfast meals and like 4 drinks, and then I delivered that, only made $4.15 on it. And then I had to drive, my 15-20 minutes driving back here to Grove City. So 45 minutes, and I made like $4 basically. And even before I got to the McDonald's, I guess I was in the car telling myself, screw this. I'm just going to finish this one delivery, and I'm done with this. No more Uber Eats. And I guess that one delivery reminded myself of all the things I didn't like about it that when I did it, the 5 months prior. I guess at the time, I have a different mindset now. I'm a different person now, 7 years later. But I guess at that time, when I had the shorter hair and I was clean shaven, I guess I liked the actual job itself, but I talked in that video about how I like all of the other stuff I just didn't like at all. I didn't like the traffic. I didn't like some of the BS, and the only thing I really liked about it was just the job itself, like picking up an order, delivering it, but all the other intangibles I was not a fan of. So I did that one delivery, and that was it, clear until May 3rd, 2024. Okay, so I logged into DoorDash first, then opened up Uber Eats. Uber Eats was the first offer I got, $9.01, 4.2 total miles. So yeah, and this was, now there's a couple bad offers I seen the day before. I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's video. So there'll be, you'll find out more in that video. Or maybe it's not in tomorrow's video. I'm also going to do like a initial review of the app. And then I'm not sure, that'll come out like sometime next week, maybe next weekend. But anyway, this is an offer I would take on DoorDash. So yeah, absolutely. Sorry about the screenshot. I kind of took this like after I accepted it. So I get to the McDonald's, have to go through the drive-thru. The lobby's not open yet. And, I was able to pick this up and deliver it fairly easily. It's an app I haven't used forever. I'm going to have to like get used to it. Like just little things that I have to figure out, just like with DoorDash for the first time. So like I pulled into I wasn't sure how to close the map for one thing. I didn't need the map. I knew where I was going, but the map was on the screen. I just left it on there. And then when I got to the McDonald's, I wasn't sure how to shut that off and then like I need to see my order now and the pickup number. So that took several seconds. I had to park in a parking spot to do that while a couple other cars, bypassed me and got in front of me in the drive-thru. That kind of sucked. But I figured that out, and I delivered it to the just down the street to a hotel. And then and no and again, kind of similar situation when I got to the hotel. I wish I could have seen everything, and I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just need to figure it out. But I wish I could have seen everything before I got started that way. So I pull into the hotel, and then I gotta stop and figure out what room number, and it took a couple seconds again. But I'll play around with it. I'm sure I'll get used to it. So I go to drop that off. It was supposed to be a leave at the door, but the customer opened the door. Just like I set the sack down, I just had my DoorDash stuff. So I was dressed like this and the only insulated hot bags I have is DoorDash. So I used all this stuff. And not anticipating to actually get an Uber Eats offer that I would actually do. I wasn't anticipating that. So I kind of set my DoorDash bag to the side, set the sack down. I was about to take a picture, and the customer comes to the door and opens it. So it turns out to be a hand to customer. And he grabs the sack from me and looks down, and he sees my DoorDash insulated bag. I don't think he thought anything of it, but so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is it like it probably doesn't matter. I mean, or does it matter? I don't know. My wife and I talked about it a little bit. She didn't think I should wear the shirt anymore if I'm going to do Uber Eats and DoorDash. One idea we could have is like I could just change hats. So that I can't change my shirt. Well, I could, but that'd be kind of inconvenient throughout a work day to keep changing my shirt. But I could wear just some other shirt, not the DoorDash hat. I could wear the DoorDash hat for DoorDash deliveries and then switch hats if I get an Uber order. Sounds kind of stupid, but and then the hot bags. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just continue to use my DoorDash bags. I mean, I guess I like I said, I don't think that would really matter, but I don't know. So I go to close that out, and next screenshot here. So, and then I see my pay, which took a couple seconds to finally load, and it said $5.70. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought this was supposed to pay $9. And I go back to the previous screen, and I see below the 901, then I see where it says includes expected tip. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So what is this gonna be like this on every Uber Eats order? You kidding me? Where they're like an expected, you can't, if the customer doesn't tip ahead of time, you can't just sit there and predict what a tip is gonna be. Or maybe that's not how it works. Maybe they did tip that amount. It was $9.01, but they had, because I seen some other message about how they have an hour to change the amount or whatever. So maybe that's what it is. You guys comment below, help me out. Any Uber drivers watching, let me know to tell me how this works, or if I have time, I'll go back. Maybe this weekend I'll watch some Uber, videos to kind of learn about this. I have no idea. I'm wondering that it's in there at 9:01, but the reason this says 570 is because within an hour the customer could take that tip away. That's my guess. Long story short on that, after my dash was over and everything, after I'm done for the day, and it was just before starting this video, I get back onto the app and see that I did get the $9. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm so used to DoorDash, I'd have to get used to that with Uber, but I don't like it as much as the DoorDash system. Next offer here comes in at $5.16. So Uber Eats, $7.70 for, you might as well say 10 miles from the Starbucks here in my zone. So there you go. I've talked about Starbucks before. They're the 3 locations in my zone. They're not on DoorDash, but now I know they're on Uber Eats. So, and this is going to that South Columbus area. And especially after that previous order that I had, I wasn't going to chance this one at all until I know what's going on here with Uber Eats. So I wasn't going to chance taking this, and I go to close this order out and it's only like $2 when the offer said $7.70. So I was like, no thanks. Until I know what's going on, I'm not taking this. And I think different from when I drove before, all of these 3 offers this morning, I had time to look at them and accept them or what closed out or whatever. But I had some yesterday that it's kind of like Instacart, where I saw the offer and before I could even really look at it, it said that some other driver had taken it. So I like right away, I don't like that feature either. I like it with DoorDash where you get an offer and you've got like 40 to 60 seconds and it's only your offer for that 40 seconds or whatever. And nobody's going to take it away from you. You accept or decline it. I don't like this, where they show one offer to 150 people at one time, and I'll talk about that more in my review. Had to wait about 20 minutes for the next offer. Again, I'm still not getting anything on DoorDash, and I got another Uber Eats 1040 for 12 miles. This is going like north of downtown Columbus. So, and again, same issue. I don't know what this is going to pay. Even if I got that full 1040, this still wouldn't be worth it. Going all that distance for that. So I declined that. And first DoorDash order comes... let's see. Then I had to wait about another 18 minutes. So got a $9, 8.4 mile Tim Hortons. And I was looking at the pin location here. I was pretty sure which customer this was going to be. And I ended up being right. It was the lady that I call the nice customer. Talked about her in several of my videos. So that was awesome. Go pick up that order, deliver that. Easy as could be order right there. Good way to get the DoorDash dash started. I forgot to mention also when I was initially for the Uber Eats, when I started that order, I initially put the DoorDash the dash on pause, but after about like 15 minutes or so, I just ended it. And since I have the ability to like dash anytime, I'll probably just end dashes rather than pausing them and then just like start it back up. It's more than likely what I'll do if I do this type of thing again. And so the pay on this Tim Hortons was $2 from DoorDash, $7 tip. And then I'm coming back to zone, still on my way, about halfway back to the Meijer area, and I get a $14 14 mile Meijer, only 4 items. So going south of downtown, but at this time of the morning, I'm okay with this. And get to the Meijer, pull up the shopping list. Here we go. My second ever naughty dash. So there you see it there, some KY, a couple vibrators, and this Hello Cake little sucker. And yeah, this completely took me off guard. Totally took me off guard because I would expect this type of order in the evening time, not 6:30 in the morning here. So that was pretty funny, but just in case you haven't seen the first Naughty Dash, I'll put a link down below in the description. That one was a more like well-rounded naughty party. That had like a couple bottles of wine in it. That had lube, the condoms, like some kind of toy. It even had like a morning after pill. This one doesn't have like as much variety as that order did, but still cool. Okay, so as you see here, it doesn't take me long, just 4 minutes to have this shopped. I also took a picture, next screenshot. I kind of lined them all up on a display and took a picture of the items. So there you go. And, this actually was kind of expensive. I still got the receipt here, and I'll get to the reason why here in a second. That's the other receipt. That's the other party. Maybe I threw that away. Okay, I think I threw that one away then. But this ended up being like $97, I think, somewhere around $100. The two taller bought the vibrators, those were both expensive. So I pay for that, and the receipt doesn't print, but that's okay. The app is telling me to throw the receipt anyway. So, okay, so I grab my sack. I go to walk out the door, and the alarm goes off. I'm like, oh crap, man. So I go to turn around, and as soon as I turn around, the associate that's like right there next to me is the store manager. How crazy is that? And he asked for the receipt, and I said, well, it doesn't. And I should back up here just a second. After I checked out, and I gave the self-checkout cashier lady, I gave her a heads up. Hey, this register over here, the receipt is not printing. And she said, okay. And she would take a look at it and whatever. Okay. Then the alarm goes off. Store manager asked for a receipt. I said, I don't have it. The receipt is not printing. And then he gets with that cashier and hey, can you print the receipt out or whatever? And she's like, yeah. And long story short, so she first prints the receipt out for me, then takes all the items out of the sack and starts, deactivating the security device or whatever on them, and gives them back to me so that I can leave. And I'm on the phone with my wife this whole entire time, and she made a comment. She's like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. And I said, well, no, it wasn't, because they know that it's a DoorDash order. I mean, I got all the, clothes on and everything. And she's like, no, not necessarily. That just because you have those clothes on, that doesn't mean anything. You could have all that DoorDash gear on and still be in there buying something for yourself. And so, but even still, I wasn't in the slightest bit embarrassed, but, I was just, yeah, that was funny. But yeah, like I said, if you haven't already done so, check out, Naughty Dash Volume 1. And then there's a pay on that, $10, $4 tip. It was a leave at the door. No problems with the delivery. Coming back to Zone, and I get a $6 9-mile IHOP. This was a decline. I just come back from Zone, or I just come from out of Zone, I should say. And now I'm supposed to take this other order, go back out of Zone again for lower pay. Just wasn't feeling this one. Decline. This was kind of funny. I stopped to get gas at Speedway, and I'm leaving the Speedway and going to another part of my zone, and I get a Speedway offer. So screenshot here. But this is for a different Speedway in my zone. So $7, 4.6 miles. But you see on the screen here, it has alcohol. And I can't wait until they roll it out in my zone where you can toggle off of different types of orders, toggle on and off of alcohol orders, shopping orders. I mean, as soon as that comes into my zone, I'm toggling off the alcohol. I've said before, said it, probably 50 times before in these videos, it's more trouble than what it's worth. I can't wait to get off of it. I'm not even supposed to be on it anyway. I opted out, and I didn't get whatever this license was that they were talking about that you're supposed to get. I didn't want the license, and I want off alcohol. Get me off. And they still send me the orders anyway. I mean, I didn't like this order at all, but I took it. It is what it is. I get to Speedway, and this particular location, I don't know. It's just kind of like a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand this Speedway location at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's like overrun by movers and delivery vehicles. Okay, I get it. You're a delivery driver or a mover. Okay, congratulations. And all of you, all 50 million of you in Central Ohio, start your shift at 7 a.m. I get it. Great. But do you all have to fill up your vehicles at the same time at the same gas station? I mean, and half the time, hardly any other customers can get in there because of the delivery vehicles. I don't get it. Like, I'm assuming you all start your shift at the beginning of the day, but you probably don't end your shifts all at the exact same time. Wouldn't it make more sense to fill up these vehicles at the end of shifts instead of the beginning of a shift? I mean, I don't know. To me, that's just kind of like common sense thinking so that you don't overrun a gas station like that. But okay, there's my rant for today. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's good people in this world that do moving and deliver with straight trucks, and congratulations and thank you for the great work that you do, but I still had to rant on that issue anyway. So I get there, the store is slammed with the movers, with the delivery drivers, with regular customers. They only have one register open, and so I get in the line. My stopwatch is running. I'm only going to wait 10 minutes for this. And another thing I don't understand is I'm a walking billboard for DoorDash here. Okay, so all I have to do is pick up an order. Okay, I'm standing behind like 7 or 8 customers. Why a cashier when those people, they've got items that have to be scanned, and they have to run their credit card and scan their Speedway rewards card, and it's a whole let me get a pack of cigarettes and chewing tobacco and this and that, and it's a whole process. My sack is sitting there. I just needed handed it to me. Okay, so why you can't see that? And for delivery drivers, oh, hey, you 4 customers back, you're a DoorDash driver, right? Yeah, I am. Oh, okay, here's your sack. Why do I have to wait in that line? But I do. It's irritating about the gas stations doing pickups from there. I set my timer. I ended up waiting 7.5 minutes. So it didn't go the full 10 minutes. I got the order. Drop that off. No problems with the drop off. And oh, there's the items. So that this screenshot. So 2 hard seltzers and a 12 pack of Pepsi. And so we get to the pay screen on that. And $3 from DoorDash, $4 tip. Then I get a rash of declines that go from bad to worse to even more worse. Like, so here we go with decline number 1. I'm just parked in a residential neighborhood minding my own business when I get an 850 9-mile Jolly Pirate. This was the best of the declines. And I guess if I had to do over again, I would take this order. But I can't go back in time. I decline this, thinking I'd get something better. No, let's get worse here. $5.70 for almost 12 miles, and even worse, Jolly Pirates. So, yeah, I didn't take that previous one. Why would I take this one? It's even worse. And that was, what was that? That was the same time, not even a minute had passed. Okay, so that was 7:46. Then 1 minute later, this one fits my criteria, technically. 450, only 3 miles. I just got to drive. I'm a little bit, I'm probably like 2.5, 2 3/4 mile away from that part of my zone. So, but Tropical Smoothie, they only have one person that makes orders in there. So that's what scared me about this. I could very easily walk in there and this be a 10-minute drop. There's a very high probability of that. And so I just didn't want to waste my time going over there, and traffic was probably going to be bad. So I just declined that one. And 1 minute later, $4 3-mile Tim Hortons. At this point, I gotta take this one because I've talked about this before, and it's kind of like my mentality. Any drivers that's been doing this for any length of time, you kind of know what I'm talking about here. But you just get a feel in your gut for when like a rash of bad orders is going to be hitting your phone. You just get when that's coming. And I was right in the middle of this and I knew it. Now, in my opinion, probably hardly anybody's going to agree with me on this, but one of the best ways to deal with this, I mean, you could pause your dash for like 10 minutes, let all these rash of declines go out to other drivers, then, resume in 10 minutes. You could do that. But another way to handle this situation is just take one of the bad orders. Just take one and be on a bad order. So if I'm on this one, you can't send me any more. Well, you can, but especially after I picked up the order, chances of them sending me something else is low. So just go ahead and take 15, 20 minutes or whatever on this bad order. And by the time that one's delivered, then that's how I look at it sometimes. And then this was a leave at the door where the customer came to the door. So no big deal. I just sent my message, order delivered, after I got back to my car, closed it out. This was a 2 and 2, $2 from DoorDash, $2 tip. And just like Chuck Woolery used to say back in the 80s, the show Love Connection, $2, be right back at you. That's not what he said. He said in the show, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, be right back at you for the commercial break. Okay, there's some Love Connection for you. For those that are old enough to remember. Next was, this was a decline. 725, 12 miles, going east of Columbus. Yeah, not taking this one. So that's Well, that's like 4 declines out of 5 offers. I'm still on like a bad streak here. My car's parked, residential neighborhood. I decide to go for a walk. I only walk for like what I start the walk at 8:10. I'm only walking for 3 minutes and I get this offer. $21, 17 miles, Meyer, only 6 items. So yeah, I'll go out to the east side for $21. Now you're talking my language here. So I get to Meyer. Here's like a partial list. The Primatine Mist, I was in that aisle. There was an older lady that would not leave that aisle. So I go in the aisle and I'm looking everywhere, like except for where I can kind of see everything where she's standing. I don't see it. And then I kind of look everywhere else in the aisle and she won't leave that. She's right in front of the allergy medications where this Primatine Mist could be. And I check the rest of the aisle. I don't see it. I check some other aisles. I'm trying to stall for several seconds and that lady is not leaving. I don't know what she's doing. And long story short, she never left. But now fortunately, when I just had to click item unavailable. I didn't see it. And fortunately, the customer gave an option where I could just refund it. So thank you very much. Refund and let's move on to the other items. I spent way too much time on that. They have found everything else pretty easily. And you see here, so my shopping time almost took the full recommended 12 minutes because of that inhaler. And delivered that so that was at 8:39. So it took me 24 minutes to get to check out, load my car up, get to the customer. $11.75 from DoorDash, $9.27 tip for $21.02. I'm trying to come back to zone and I'm like almost to the on-ramp for the interstate. I'm almost there, man. And I get this $4.50 McDonald's, Obet's McDonald's, and I've done this before. I usually take these, and this happens to me in the past. Why not? It's past 9. This is like usually my slower time. Why not? If I can knock this out 15, 20 minutes, I'm good with it. I have to turn around because I've already passed the McDonald's. I turn around, go back to the McDonald's, and I go to the bathroom first, and the lady that was calling out the order numbers, I could hear her from inside the bathroom. That's how loud she was. And order number such and such, and DoorDash orders such and such and such and such. I mean, my gosh, man. Did she think some of the drivers were like waiting like outside, like and across the street, maybe like on the other side of the interstate or something, and that's the only way they could hear her? I mean, gosh, man. I don't know. I hadn't looked at my order number yet. I didn't know if either one of those were mine. So I come out of the bathroom and the one she yelled so far wasn't mine. So I'm standing there and waiting. My stopwatch is running. I'm over like 6 or 7 minutes here. And long story short on this, my order had a smoothie in it, and the frappe / smoothie machine, I guess there's 2 halves to it or 2 parts to the machine or what, and one side was down. So they were struggling to make drinks, apparently. And so I waited, since this is only a $4.50 order. I waited past my 10 minutes, and here we go. Next screenshot. Here's the screen here for worry free, unassigned, no penalty. So I went ahead and took it. The one guy that was standing there, he was like kind of roaming around the lobby, and he was a little bit helpful to me. And I should have made he was right at the front doors. I should have made a comment to him. Hey, I got taken off my order. Another Dasher will be in. It would have just took me like 5 seconds to say that to the guy, because he was kind of nice to me, and I didn't. So I just didn't. I couldn't, when I got back to my car, I kind of felt bad about that, but, it is what it is. Learning experience here. Then at about 9:30, I took my break. I actually started the break before I got home because there's something my wife wanted me to check on here at home. So I took my break, and from 9:30, it took about an additional 10 minutes from there to get home, and I did what I needed to do, resumed. And I get, okay, so next order was this 725, 8.5 mile Tim Hortons. And I went ahead and took this. Going to Southern Point, that's okay. I don't have as much problems going south as I do going north or east. This is fine. And just standard pickup and delivery, $2.75 from DoorDash, $4.50 tip. So that was at 10:38. I dropped that off, and just 6 minutes later, again getting an order when I'm on my way to Meijer. I get a good one right here, $23.25. Meijer, only 8 items, and this is taking place all in zone. It's picking up at Meijer and delivering to the other side of my zone. Great, absolutely. Went ahead and took this. Wait just a second, folks. Hold on. Just hold on the excitement. 1 second. Screenshot. A party order. I've talked about these. I don't get it. How and why a customer would think it was okay to ask a DoorDash delivery driver to do an order like this. And here we go, a party order. But hey, I'm going to be true on all of these orders. This is going to be tricky as tricky can be, but I'm a trooper, and I took these orders. I'm at least going to try to shop it. Okay, and what kind of balloons are we talking about here? Are we talking about the ones that have got to be blown up, or this was scary? Okay, so, and then before I pull up the next screenshot, so the cake was pretty easy. I found that. Just took me a minute or whatever. The balloons were the ones that's supposed to be blown up. Okay. So I go over to the floral department and I see some balloons that are already blown up, but none of these ones. They had a couple birthday balloon with none of these. Most of it was like graduation, and I might even seen like some Mother's Day maybe, or I can't remember, some other holiday. Now the balloons like still in the package, not blown up yet. When I found that rack, the spindle, so that you got 7 total balloons here, and I found them all like right away. They were all on like one side of that rack, easy to find, but these are probably going to need to be blown up, I'm assuming. I mean, could you imagine a Dasher just like if I just said, hey, there's no instructions here to blow them up. I'm just going to deliver them in these packages like this. Could you imagine? but I'm not going to be like that. So I asked a associate if there was somebody that could blow them up, and they said, "Well, if you want to walk back to electronics, I'm going to page out that somebody needs help back there. If you want to walk back there, and then bring the associate over to that state, because I don't know how to work that machine." So okay, it sounded kind of weird, but okay. And while she was doing that, I called the customer just to be absolutely sure these needed to be blown up. Because, hey, for all I know, maybe the party wasn't until like a week from now or something. They're going to put the cake in the freezer and blow these balloons up like 5 or 6 days from now. I don't know. So I called, and the customer said, "Yeah, if they could blow them up, and it's not an extra charge, is it?" And I asked, and they said no. And she said, "Yeah, if you could, have them blown up." I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And so I go back to electronics. I meet the associate there, bring her back to the station, and she's got to, blow up these balloons one balloon at a time. And I got to wait for 7 of these. And so, but I decided I'm gonna stick with this order and wait it out. The way I looked at it today, this was kind of like karma. I should not have dropped those $2 general orders yesterday. Okay. So this is the karma that I get on the following day. Because of dropping those yesterday, I need to do the right thing, and I need to like stay on this order and kind of make up for what I did yesterday and be back on the good side of things here, karma wise speaking. So, and I also text the customer. I said, and I got the text exchanges here. Let's see. So, about like it took about 10 minutes for the associate to blow these up, and when there was just a couple left, I sent a text, 2 more balloons to blow up, then I'll be checking out, and a thumbs up. And then she said, "No worries, thank you so much for doing it, I know it takes time." I said, "Oh, no problem at all." And so I waited. Okay, so the next screenshot, I didn't hit proceed to checkout until like after the all the balloons were blown up. So here you see it was it took about right around 10 minutes to shop the order or whatever, and find that associate and call the customer and whatever. All of that took 10 minutes, and it took about another 10 to 12 minutes to actually blow up the balloons. So all total, I had 22 minutes in this, 22 and a half minutes. So, but that's okay. And next screenshot, this is kind of funny. So there's the shopping cart with all the balloon. There you see the cake, and then the shopping with the balloons in it. Pretty funny. And then so I go to deliver that. Let's get back to my notes here. It was a leave at the door. Customer opened the door, but she let me set everything down and was patient with me while I took my picture and everything. It's a nice lady. So there you go, $8.25 from DoorDash, $15 tip for $23.25. So all total, what did I have all total wrapped up in this? So I got the offer at 10:44. So about 45 minutes. 45 minutes, even with that wait to blow up the balloons. All 45 minutes all total made $23. So that still ended up being pretty good. So I'm driving back home, and I'm probably thinking I'm probably just going to go ahead and call it a dash right here. I'm close enough to goal. And so I'm on my way back, and then next screenshot, she added an additional $10 tip. So now I'm making this all total a $33 order. And I saw this hit my phone, and this kind of like made my day. I was like, oh, that was really, really nice of that lady. And and that, I mean, that just felt really good. She appreciated that I waited in that store the extra like 12 minutes and waited for those balloons to blow up, and that I was understanding about it. And then, she threw in that extra $10, and that was just really, really nice. So I really appreciated that. And then also, just shortly after this, sent a text. She said, "Thank you so much. Appreciate your service." So that, it was really nice. I sent a message back. "You're very, very welcome. Thank you for the tip. Much appreciated. Have a great day!" Exclamations. And then she said, "You're welcome." But so yeah, that was really, really good. 2 days in a row. Really great way to end the dash. Yesterday was the catering order, and today this order with the extra tip. Went ahead and logged off. So the end time here, 11:36. Again, I log off before noon. So the dash time, now that I might be like pausing dashes, shutting dashes off, all this and that. So I'm going to start counting my total time, regardless of which apps I log into and for how long, and if I'm going to keep doing this multi-apping. So from when I first logged in this morning at 4:57 a.m. to 11:36. So I count that. Actually, wait a minute here. No, it was 4:29. The first time I logged in. So 4:29 to 11:36. That's a 7-hour, 7-minute dash. See here, I was active on DoorDash 3 hours, 35 minutes of that. 7 deliveries completed, 95.52. And then also, of course, you got to add that $9 from Uber Eats. So 104 and change. And drove 106 miles. So pretty much right on target, miles to money. Now at 3,014 deliveries, DoorDash, and 1 delivery, Uber Eats. Started the dash at 65% acceptance and finished at 65. No change there. And with Uber Eats, I don't know how that works. If you guys know, throw in a comment. Let me know, how does acceptance rate even work with Uber Eats? I have no idea. So let me know, or I'll research it and watch some videos on YouTube about it. But anyway, that's it for this very interesting day today. I got through it, and we'll live to dash another day. Thanks again for watching. Also, welcome to all the new subscribers. I picked up, I think, 13 new subscribers in the last few days. So welcome aboard. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And as always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos. A lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash. And we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.